Okay, we have some strong words from the man behind President Obama's winning presidential campaigns on your screen right now.
David Axelrod saying in a post, if President Biden continues to run, he will be the nominee of the Democratic Party, adding he needs to decide whether it's in his best interest or the country's. Let's get to our NewsNation newsmakers for some reaction here. We have Asia Grace, Kurt Bardella, and Lydia Moynihan. Kurt, let me just start with you on this one. President Biden apparently, after seeing this tweet, in private calling Axelrod a prick over this. And this name calling has gone back and forth for years. You've worked both sides of the aisle. You're now proudly a Democrat. Does Axelrod have a point, though? And this hit President Biden in kind of, a sensitive nerve.
I don't think so. I think this is a guy who just likes hearing the sound of his own voice. I can't think of any strategic reason of any value to the Democratic Party why someone in his position with his resume would put that out there, knowing it would attract attention, knowing it would provoke conversations like this. The president's right. It's a prick thing to do.
I didn't know we could say this word on TV, so I'm a little bit stunned. But Asia, I'm going to go to you.
Day.
Yeah, I mean, it's early. I haven't had my cereal yet. But Asia, I think there are a lot of people who would say what Axelrod has put forth is his concerns, the optics over his age, are of growing concern among members even of his own party.
Absolutely. I mean, this beef, if you will, is giving Real Housewives of the White House. OK, they're like flipping tables and saying, who gonna check me, boo? And, nobody wants to see a beef like a East Coast versus West Coast beef, like, going on in the White House. However, the conversation of age is important. And as we all know, there has been a ton of chatter about people in high places and their questionable competence levels as they're aging. But age shouldn't necessarily preclude anyone from holding a position in leadership. We just do have to make sure that whoever is holding that position is doing it in the best way that serves us all, that serves the best interests of everyone.
Yeah. Lydia, what do you make of this back and forth? Because nobody ever likes being doubted or criticized, but I think when that comes from, within your own party, someone that you think should be on, hey, you're on my team, I think that sting probably feels worse than from, someone else.
It's fair. But if you want a friend in politics, you should get a dog because it's a pretty cutthroat business. As Asia mentioned, this has been a pretty long simmering drama between the Obama and the Biden camp. If you remember 4 years ago, Obama allegedly told Biden that he shouldn't run. And so I think Biden's probably annoyed that he's once again facing that kind of criticism from his predecessor, from the president and his folks who he worked with. I think from a strategy standpoint, though, it might not be a smart move for Axelrod because I think Biden's just going to keep digging in his heels the more that there are calls for him to step down. That's kind of what happened last time. So I don't know. I think it's really up to him to decide if he wants to run because it doesn't seem like there's anyone in the DNC who's going to say, you know what, Grandpa, time to move on.
Yeah, but nobody's going to do that. I mean, there's one, there's one or two voices, but again, they're getting eclipsed by the grandeur that is the President of the United States of America.
The bully pulpit.
Well, and then there's that. Let's actually listen to a soundbite because there's one thing that all of us can agree on, no matter what party we're in. We don't like disruptive passengers on planes. So let's listen to this, and then we'll talk about it.
Okay, so watch me bless him. So I used to sing on planes a long time ago. I just found out I'm up for 2 Grammys. My very first time, you guys.
That isn't, I wanted to play out because, guys, that's not the juice.
And I'm up for 2 Grammys.
Yeah, can we put the volume up again one more time?
The song is out on all platforms. It's called We Can't Forget 'Em. Michael McDonald cleared it. Warren G is on the original record as well. It's with Regulators. I want to share this with you guys. I
wish this was queued up a little bit differently, guys. Our team is busy, but there's a moment where she's standing up and the guy, the flight attendant, wait, here we go. Listen to this.
They're enjoying it. So while we're sitting here, could I please?
I'm not enjoying it. So I'm asking you, can you be quiet?
Okay, why
that's a yes or no answer, please.
Am I going to go to jail if I don't?
Can you please answer my question? Are you willing and able to be quiet right now?
I'm doing what the Lord is telling me to do.
I'm asking you a question.
Okay,
yes or no.
so there you go. It was the confrontation between this Grammy-nominated singer from this very popular Christian group, Maverick City, and the flight attendant on a Delta flight. So she's been told to be quiet multiple times. She was standing up. She was singing in the aisles. They said, get to your seat. And then it became this back and forth when she's in her seat trying to talk to the audience as though it's her personal concert. So the question is, was this cringy? And was it inappropriate for her to be doing this on board of a plane? I'm going to start with Asia because I know you've got lots to say.
You know I got lots to say.
Oh,
and
yes.
Let me tell you, first and foremost, don't let them mess around and give me a Grammy nomination, okay? I am going to be singing from the top of city buses, okay? So while I can appreciate Bobby's excitement and I can appreciate even her message, I am never in favor for anyone doing anything disruptive or special or against the flight crew's wishes on an airplane, okay? I want to go up, I want to cruise, and I want to land safely. All right. I don't want this instance to put the battery in everyone's back now to use an airplane as, your personal stage. We're captive audiences. We're all vulnerable and we're all at the mercy of the flight crew and the pilot. I don't think anyone should be using this time to have a moment, regardless of what's happening. I don't want somebody else now to go play the spoons on his knee because he got the urge.
You
we
said
need to be
play the spoons. You went there.
I'd rather that, I feel like, than unless it's like, Taylor Swift or Beyonce.
No, nobody.
Or
nobody.
Tim McGraw.
Nobody.
Not
if you're going to make me late and miss my connection. Not if we are going to have to.
They aren't flying commercial. The people you want to hear are not flying commercial.
Exactly. So in my perfect world scenario, it doesn't even happen. That's the. What, Lydia? Any more thoughts?
So I'm actually really glad we're having this conversation because for years we keep hearing these stories in New York about these fabulous musicians who are playing $1 million violins in the subway. And the narrative is that aren't these people horrible because everyone's just rushing past this amazing musician? No one stops to smell the roses. No one appreciates it. And I have been tired of being shamed for that. And I think the moral of the story here is when you are traveling, when you are commuting, you don't want any disruption. The worst is when you get on the subway and then there are people like literally performing in your face and then asking you for money. But I think this is hopefully a moment that's a real wake-up call for literally everyone because everyone's running late. You're just trying to relax, focus on getting to your destination.
You're just trying to get somewhere.
Yeah.
Right, Kurt?
You don't want to be affronted with these people. So, no. It's too much. It's too much.
I feel like Kurt has some great noise-canceling headphones for moments such as these.
AirPods, earbuds have been a great invention.
I do a lot in the music world, as you guys know. I run a country music publication called The Morning Hangover. I'm on a lot of flights from Nashville to other places, and artists kind of breaking out a guitar and just singing, especially on Southwest flights, that happens all the time. And most of the time, everybody on the plane's kind of happy about it. They enjoy it. I mean, I think a lot of times, I get I just want to stick to myself. I don't want to deal with anybody else. I'm like, she just got nominated for a Grammy. That's pretty awesome. Why can't we all just be joyful, give her 30 seconds to celebrate it? I thought the flight attendant was a little confrontational and his tone was a little, bit of a douchebag, frankly. I've seen people act that way on flights, and it's like, you don't have to be all authority in my grill. You could just be chill. You don't have to be that aggressive.
But they are the authority in the air. And again, I agree with you. Customer service has really gone down, and I can tell you the spots to avoid if you want to avoid bad customer service. With the airlines. But I still think that we have a responsibility as passengers, especially in the light of day. He didn't necessarily know who she was. He didn't know if she's going to be one of those people who got aggressive. They're on edge because of so many disruptive passengers who might seem sane in a moment and then snap on them. So I think maybe he's a little nervy.
If someone talked to me in that tone, yes or no, are you going to be quiet or not? I'd be like, I'm a grown-ass man. Don't talk to me like that. Who the hell do you think you are?
You might be kicked off the plane too, Kurt, because they actually have authority as first responders on the planes. I mean, people don't know this, that they have more rights because of who they are and the fact that we are all together in a very confined space. But I respect your opinion.
In a sardine can.
Next topic.
Okay, we have to talk about this. Lastly, Kansas City Chiefs quarterback Patrick Mahomes just appeared on the Manning Cast podcast with the Manning brothers. This was all during Monday Night Football. He ended up talking game day superstitions, revealing he has this pair of red lucky underwear that he does not wash if the team is on a winning streak.
Yuck.
So what do we think about that? And does anybody have any weird superstitions that they'd like to share with the class today?
So I play basketball every day. And I can tell you, since I was in high school, I do the same stretching routine every single time before I play. And really, I think it's like a psychological thing. It's like I feel better that I'm not going to go get hurt because I have done this thing and it has never failed me. Of course, now I'm 40, so it probably will soon. I should readjust that.
No, it's going to keep you
don't
limber
jinx
into
yourself.
your 50s and 60s, Kurt, but I'm glad that you wash your underwear. Lydia, do you have any interesting superstitions?
Well, okay, I feel like for his teammates, they're probably the only ones who are really probably bothered by the scent, but I guess if they're winning, they're probably pretty pleased with his performance, so they're not going to say anything.
No,
Nobody can smell it.
Men in a
there's
locker
no
room.
way. I was born without a sense of smell, and I don't think anybody's
No, dudes
smelling
don't
his
smell each
undies.
other. I'm convinced that men just don't have the same kind of capacity to smell as women do. Nobody's smelling. Nobody's
Maybe
checking.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what it is. But yeah, they're probably not complaining if he's winning. So I don't know. He's clearly
I'm
doing
sure
something
he
right.
sprays some extra Axe or something on his body to make sure he's blocking the scent. Asia.
I mean, I want to put this out there to the kids at home. Kids, when you don't wash your drawers, nobody wins, okay? Like, I don't want this message to get mixed up in your head. Wash your underwear, please, and thank you. But there are a ton of celebrities. They all live by some superstition. Some pray, some have a lucky gold tooth. Heidi Klum allegedly carries around baby teeth in her purse.
Oh.
Kim Kardashian and Jennifer Aniston allegedly, they have to step onto a plane with their right foot forward. So, I mean, this is not like news. And plus, you think about it, like these are million and billionaires we're talking about. So having a lucky pair of lingerie or long johns or what have you, it might not be the worst idea in the world. We just got to watch them.
At least he wears them.
He
agree on that?
He
Like,
says
there's that.
if we're on a winning streak, it's a hot streak. I can't wash them. I got to just keep it rolling.
Hot streak and underwear don't need to go in the same.
And that's enough. All right. Asia Grace, Kurt Bardella, Lydia Moynihan. It was fun. Thank you.
This went off the rails. We'll see y'all soon.